Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. We're gonna get through this. That's tough.
This is major news. Manny Pacquiao now has a home gym in LA. Pacquiao Prime Boxing. Check it out. Manny Pacquiao wins the first round heading in to the rematch.
Floyd Mayweather is facing intense controversy after reports claim that Manny Pacquiao has taken over his Hollywood gym and rebranded it as Pacquiao Prime Boxing.
The production company that we're working with, Everwonder, will help put this together and have a great relationship with Netflix. They're one of the premier live sports partners for Netflix. They have their own claims and damages. We, Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao Promotions have our own claims and damages, right? We're sitting in a lingo right now, not knowing if this man is going to step in the ring or he's not going to step in the ring. Clearly, he doesn't value anything that he signs. He loves to tell people don't do bad business, but this is like as high as it gets on the ladder of doing bad business.
At the same time, allegations are circulating that Floyd could be dealing with a massive financial setback, including a potential $100 million penalty linked to a Netflix contract dispute.
Him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on investments on multiple properties, him buying a lot of depreciating assets, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially.
Speculation around Mayweather's finances has started to grow, with reports suggesting issues like property foreclosures, unsuccessful investments, and declining asset values. These claims have fueled the narrative that his sudden return to boxing in 2026 could be financially motivated.
It's been many contracts that have been signed, and not just one. Advances have been given, loans have been taken out against the purse, right? Because this is a Netflix paper, so they're treating it as like a movie, a film contract, rather than a typical fight contract, right? So typical fight contract, you can't get your advance. You're going to get a 10% or a 20% depending on the promoter and who you're working with, and then you get paid on fight night. In this case, it's a bit different because Netflix paper is a AAA paper and you can get cash against it.
According to sources close to Manny Pacquiao's camp, details about contracts and advance payments have raised serious questions. Some analysts believe there are only two possibilities. Either major mistakes were made in handling agreements, or there are deeper issues surrounding how the deal is being managed.
One of the most unprofessional things you could do, not trying to point the gun on Netflix or whoever else put this together, but something is off. Something's completely off because you got one person saying, this is a real fight. You got the promotion saying, this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix.
Further reports claim that Mayweather accepted large advance payments for the fight and is now attempting to shift the bout into an exhibition format, which could potentially create legal complications. There are also mentions of tax-related issues, including a reported lien filed against his properties.
Make a fight between 2010 and 2015 before it finally got done. Manny said he actually signed 2 contracts to fight Floyd back in the day, and it didn't happen. And he said this time when it came around that they were negotiating for this fight that's going to be on Netflix at the Sphere, he said, I'm not doing anything until Floyd signs. You guys bring me a signed Floyd contract and then I'll sign it. And so that has happened. And so Manny is like, look, it's signed. He knows that this is supposed to be a real fight. He knows that this is going to be at the Sphere on Netflix. Nothing but that is going to take place. If he decides to walk away from it, there's going to be repercussions. There's going to be, I think the way he phrased it was there's going to be problems. And clearly he's talking about legal maneuvers that would take place against Floyd. And he's calling his bluff. He's like, look, you can either engage in this fight that you have signed for, or
Despite all the noise, Manny Pacquiao has remained relatively quiet, though sources suggest he views this situation as part of a larger pattern tied to Mayweather's career decisions. Mayweather, however, has pushed back strongly against these accusations.
That's true.
What's new for Mayweather? Even in our first fight, getting hard. He's changing his mind. You know, that's not good. I mean, you need to have word of honor and commitment. You know.
He denies breaching any agreement and claims that the narrative is being twisted by Pacquiao's team and amplified by media speculation. According to him, no final terms have been violated, and the situation is being misrepresented. As tensions continue to rise, the situation remains unclear, with both sides holding very different versions of the truth. Reports surrounding Floyd Mayweather's situation are becoming more intense, with claims now focusing on documented contracts, advance payments, and financial obligations.
Not true. Not true. Not true. Now, when it's true, y'all hear from me first, or y'all hear from Fight Hype. You guys had seen me go out there and say certain things are false. When I tell you certain things are false, when I go out there and say, when I speak about certain things, please listen to me. If I don't want to give you guys an interview, then you guys will talk negative. So you talk negative about me, and you guys will talk negative about, you know, you guys will plant seeds in certain other writers because I don't want to give you guys a story. At the end of the day, I'm entitled to feel the way I want to feel. If I don't want to give you a story, I don't have to give you a story. And it's just simple and plain. Everything ain't for everybody. And be at ease and be at peace. If that's safe to say.
According to sources, multiple agreements were signed on different dates, with payments reportedly collected for each one. There are also claims that additional funds were borrowed against the expected purse for the Pacquiao fight, which has strengthened arguments from Manny Pacquiao's side that a contractual breach may have occurred.
Match with Manny Pacquiao would only be an exhibition. Jasper Torres, CEO's manager, CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotion, and the event producer fired back, strongly opposing, saying Floyd is in breach of the contract. Floyd signed not one, not two, but 3 different agreements on 3 different dates, 2 different parties that ultimately got intertwined in a month of January, and this is all related to his return to professional boxing. First one, October 24th, the second one, November the 6th, the third one, December 14th. He received money for all 3 agreements when he signed them. Not only that, but he has taken out an advance on his purse to fight Pacquiao.
Reactions from the boxing world have been strong. Shannon Sharp highlighted statements from Pacquiao's camp, emphasizing that if a fighter wasn't willing to put their record on the line, they shouldn't have agreed to a professional bout in the first place. The message from that side remains clear. They want a real fight, not an exhibition. Zab Judah offered a more technical perspective, suggesting that the confusion might come from how the contract terms were interpreted. However, he also stressed that when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, expectations are straightforward, a legitimate, competitive fight with no gimmicks attached.
Got your ass. Hold on, Ocho, hold on. Manny Pacquiao said he does not want to put the record, if he's scared not to put the record on the line, a professional boxing match, not only should they have never executed these agreements, this is what Pacquiao manager said. If he's scared of Manny and does not want to put the record on the line in a professional boxing match, not only should he have never executed these agreements, but he should have just come right out and said because Manny ain't scared.
Judah also pointed out Floyd Mayweather's history of controlling every detail of his fights. In his view, Mayweather rarely places himself in a situation where the odds aren't in his favor. That raises questions about whether the fight will move forward if there's even a slight disadvantage on his side. Tim Bradley then shifted focus to the financial structure behind such deals, explaining that advance payments can sometimes include strict conditions, including clauses that may not be easily reversed once money has been accepted.
Pacquiao's team, they're saying that, it's a real fight and I wouldn't fight an exhibition. Lots right there. I mean, what's your reaction to all that?
I mean, I've heard this in the past that Pacquiao wasn't looking to do any exhibitions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, if you knew. I don't know why Floyd's surprised that this is not an exhibition. I mean, you got to think anybody that want to fight Mayweather in a rematch, especially a Pacquiao or anybody up to that style, they don't want a real, something really to go down on paper. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know the language barrier that was put forth upon signing these contracts. Maybe Floyd wasn't 100% abreast of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of slipped through the cracks that this is the real Jay Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I'm saying? We're not playing around. And maybe that got through the cracks. I don't know how. I wasn't there. I don't know the business.
As more details emerge, the situation continues to grow more complicated, with legal, financial, and competitive factors all playing a role in what happens next. Tim Bradley explained that if Floyd Mayweather's contract includes a non-refundable advance clause, then the money he received could legally remain his.
I mean, one thing about me is, I can't speak for Riley, but I've never seen Floyd allow or engage into something else where somebody else have the advantage on him. He's not going to engage into it. He can always make sure that, he's top of the food chain when it comes to everything. You know what I'm saying? And then he proceeds forward. So if Pacquiao has the edge, a little bit, he's not.
Whether the fight happens or not, that possibility changes everything, because it would give Mayweather significant control over the situation and the future of the matchup. Shakur Stevenson weighed in on the tension, openly suggesting that Floyd may be trying to find a way out of the fight. In his view, this could be a mix of technicalities and mind games, with Mayweather hoping to shift the situation in his favor. He echoed Manny Pacquiao's stance, implying that Floyd might be avoiding a real fight scenario.
What I'll make you guys aware of is that when you get these advancements, you could put a non-refundable tag on these advancements. You can do that. Now, I don't know if Mayweather did that, but you can. You can put a non-refundable attachment on this and be like, all right, hey, I need an advancement for training. I need $3-4 million or whatever for training expenses. And if they agree to say yeah, and he put in a contract that is non-refundable, it's free money. It's basically free.
However, he added that if Pacquiao stays focused and serious, that strategy wouldn't work. Teddy Atlas took a different angle, calling out the sudden wave of criticism toward Mayweather. He pointed out that many of the same people now attacking him.
Floyd Mayweather's trying to duck Manny Pacquiao. He's ducking Manny, breaching. I'm going to ask you guys, can you duck at 50? Can you really? Is it really ducking at 50? If it is, it is. Let me know in the comments. But can you duck at 50, though? If it's like, I ain't got that kind of time, man. And when you listen to Manny Pacquiao talking about his game plan and how he's going to approach the rematch.
What adjustments do you think you're gonna make for the rematch? Adjustments compared to the first fight?
I have the improved and better strategy compared to the last one.
Were once praising him at the peak of his career. According to Atlas, this shift reflects how quickly public opinion can turn against top athletes. While not defending every action, he emphasized that fans often enjoy seeing dominant figures face struggles. Sean Porter offered a more balanced perspective, showing understanding toward Mayweather's situation.
People taking shots at a great fight of Mayweather, probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing a great fall.
He highlighted the complexities of boxing contracts and the business side of the sport, which many fans overlook. Porter believes Mayweather deserves some benefit of the doubt.
He's broke. He probably likes the fact that people think he's broke.
Think so? Yeah. I don't know, Sean.
Hell
yeah, not Floyd Mayweather.
You don't think Floyd
no. We're humble. That everything he built was on money. If he don't have money, he don't have nothing.
So you don't think
we good with just our family?
No, I'm not saying he's broke.
No, hell no.
So you don't think he all right with people thinking?
Hell no.
I feel different.
Hell no.
I guess I was wrong, TMZ.
Every time
take.
I got this. I made this great investment. Right. I did this investment. Lie about stuff. That's Floyd Money Mayweather. He does not want to be broke in nobody's eyes.
He lied about himself.
I'm just saying, that's his whole perspective.
Especially considering his long history of handling business carefully and strategically. As the situation continues to unfold, it's clear that boxing remains as dramatic outside the ring as it is inside. Between contract disputes, financial speculation, and divided opinions, the story is far from over. and all eyes remain on what happens next.